Hi, Mark Anthony here, and welcome to The Whole Message. This is where we teach you the intelligent side of eating healthy. And if you missed it, we had our first program. This is part two of a two-part season premiere. This is part two. So if you missed part one, you can always go on my YouTube channel and my website and chefmarkanthony.com and watch the first half. Otherwise, just enjoy the second half, and we're going to get into a little depth of how important it is to eat a healthier lifestyle. And I myself have lost about 70 pounds now and got my cholesterol down to 118. It was pushing 300. And so it's just been an absolute blessing to really learn and study this health message. And it's even a greater blessing for me to be able to share this information with you. This is where I do all my homework. This is where I really study it out. I do my radio shows from here, a lot of different things. And but this is like the heartbeat of what I do. So glad that you could be with us today. Just in case you don't know what vegan is a plant-strong lifestyle. There's vegetarians that eat milk and cheese and some animal products like that. Going vegan means you're not going to have any animal products at all. So you eliminate the milk and the cheese and items like that. And it's actually the healthiest lifestyle on the planet. You could actually go look at dozens and dozens of studies, and we show these all the time in our screenshots and everything. But there are so many different studies out there that will show you how when you go on a vegan, plant-strong lifestyle, you're going to live a longer life. You're going to live a lot healthier life. People who go vegan, plant-strong, have the least amount of sicknesses, the least amount of diseases. And that's what it's about, living a healthy, vibrant life. And so we've got some clips that we're going to share with you. I've got a lot of cooking clips today. And then we'll come back and go through some of the details of Loma Linda University and a few things like that. So enjoy these clips, and we'll be right back for more. Hi, Mark Anthony here to teach you the concepts about making stuffed peppers. And one thing I really love to do is actually teach you the concepts on how to do things. That way you really know how to do things in a simpler way without all these recipes and everything. In fact, what we're doing today is without any recipes at all. And it's so simple to do. And let me get some this vegan butter going here. And I'm going to actually show you just the simple concepts when it comes to stuffed bell peppers. And we've got some melted vegan margarine here. I'm going to add some celery, some carrots, and I'm even going to put a few green onions in there right now. I'm going to save some for later, but we're going to get that sauteed up. Another thing I can work with right here, some garlic. And of course, I like doing things the old-fashioned way, where you just give it a smack like that and get these peels off of here. There are some different ways that you can peel garlic, but I don't know why. For some reason, us old-time chefs just seem to do things the old-fashioned way, and probably because it works. And so let's get this out of the way here. And let me tell you, you're going to love this. And give this a little chop real quick. I'm going to wait just a minute before I put this garlic in there because I don't want it burning. So, but I am using fresh garlic on this one just so you can really get the flavor from this. Let me tell you, there are so many things you can do when it comes to stuffed peppers. In fact, let me start cutting these up real quick while I got a minute. These are going to start really firing up here. And here's the trick, okay? Get peppers that are actually going to stand up and not be tipping over on you. You want to get peppers that are going to stand up. Now, if they don't stand up, you can take a little slice out of them, but I kind of like to keep the bottom whole if I can. Now, the trick is to get a slice here that gets on the inside of that stem, that core, and there we go, just like that, because I'm going to save these, and we're going to actually put those in the oven as well. Whoop, see, now that one got a little too far out of hand and took the stem off. So good lesson in teaching you what not to do. Okay, just like that, and I'll do this one too. Don't know if I'm going to use all 4 of these, but and then we're going to start getting these seeds out of here. And all we're doing is just getting in there and getting all the inner seeds. And I pull the, oh, that's smelling good so far. 3, and we got one more right here. So just like that. And you can use different colored peppers. I really do prefer the red ones and the orange ones in yellow, not the green ones. Okay, so we're going to set these aside, and these are going to be ready to fill. Now we do want to add some flavor to this. There's a lot of different things you can do for flavor. You can go savory right now. You could add sage. In fact, I'll do that right now because I'm going to have this as a little savory. So you can definitely hit it with some sage. Of course, salt and pepper, we'll hit it with some salt and pepper, and doesn't take a lot because there's going to be some other seasonings in there. You can do taco if you want to do taco seasoning. You can do spicy if you want to do some pepper. This right here is the Better Than Bouillon chicken style seasoning. So you can put a little bit of that in there, which is also going to flavor it up a little bit. And I think I'll get my garlic in there right now as well. So just like that. Yes, I do love to teach you concepts. Once you learn concepts, man, you are good to run with it in so many different ways. Now the reason why I'm sauteing up these peppers and onions ahead of time like this is because I already have my rice cooked. Now, if you've looked at some of my other segments, I teach you how to do bags like this with rice. And this one's a brown rice, this one's a parboiled rice. And then you put them in the freezer, stack them up just like this. And they're so fast and easy because you can just pull one out anytime you want to do a little bit of a fast, microwave. You can refrigerate them. Whatever you want to do with them. And then we are going to open these up, and boom, just like that, we've got our rice incorporated into here as well. And so that's a brown rice right there. And this one's a parboiled rice. And you'll see some moisture here. You're going to see some moisture on this parboiled one. Just see how wet it is on the bottom. So you can use different types of rice. And now we're just going to mix all those flavors up like this. So it's not really wet, but it's definitely not dry. It's definitely got some good moisture content. This is where you want to look at it and kind of say to yourself, well, do I need to add a little more moisture to it, or is it right just the way it is? And sometimes you might want to add a little bit of water to it just to help it come back to life. Now, here. Secret ingredient today is to add a little bit of this dill to it. This is going to throw people off. They are going to say, what is that delightful flavor? I just can't tell what it is. And that one will surprise them. So really right now, as you can see, we've got cooked vegetables, we've got cooked rice, we've got everything cooked right here in a matter of a couple minutes. Really, it did not take that much time to put this baby together, especially for stuffed peppers, which most people think, oh, it just takes so much time, it's so tough to do. And so we're just going to pack this in here as much as we can. We're just packing this. You don't want a loose fit. We're just going to pack it. And just like that. And I've got a pan over here that actually has, let me share this with you real quick. You can put it on a regular pan, but sometimes if you can find a little one like this, it'll hold the peppers nice for you. So that's always a good thing to do. just gonna pack these babies. Pack it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to do. And most people don't do their peppers this way. They really don't. So this is something new for you. I'm gonna shut this off because it's good to go. All right. Yeah, like I said, different flavors. You can do different types of rice. There's just so many different avenues you can run with on this one. And one more. And then we're going to do this last one right here. And this last little bit that's left over, I can always use that for a little snack. Just because sometimes the chef wants to sample the food and see where it's at and see if they need to do any other adjustments. But okay, we're just going to pack these babies in here. And hopefully I can just add a little more to the top here. If I can, that'd be great. Because I love to have these things popping up. They will swell a little bit too though, so sometimes they do swell. So okay, just like that. These are going to go in the oven for about a half hour. I'm actually going to pull these out a little bit quicker in case they're already done. But that easy, we're going to get these in the oven and then we'll come back and show you the finished product. All right, we're back. So let's take a look at what these peppers are doing in this oven here. And ooh boy, let me tell you, these babies are sizzling hot here. And just like that, let me tell you, this is one beautiful, beautiful product. So I did have it in there for about 35, 40 minutes at 350, so it did take a little while. I'm gonna grab some gloves here just because it just gives me a little barrier where I can handle things hot and works really good. So yeah, I like to have my gloves. So yeah. Okay, here we go. You can see how they're kind of browned. They're just a little bit toasted on the top. And so we're just gonna plate this baby up and see how we wanna present it here. And of course we're gonna go back and forth on this one for sure. And yeah, a little toasted on the top, that's what you're looking for. And you'll see that these tops here, look how they're really falling apart. They're not really falling apart. I did not pull these out, I just left them in there the whole time. But it might be a little bit overcooked, but I think you'll get the concept here. You can actually place those on there. Actually, what I like to do too is just sprinkle it with some green onions right on the top like this as well, and gives it a nice presentation. Just like that. Yeah, make it look pretty there. And there we go. Ooh, that's hot. And of course, you don't have to have these tops on there. You can leave them off if you want. But sometimes that just gives it a nice, fresh look. Yeah, you can see how soft it is, but it's still holding together. And yeah, it's gonna wrinkle up a little bit, but that's what you're looking for. You don't want it falling apart, but yet you don't want it firm where it's crunchy either. And so we're gonna put that baby together, and I can even put the little stem right there. So, whew, there we go. Okay, can't touch that yet. So that easy. Now a little recap here. Take your saute pan, saute up your vegetables, then put in your cooked rice. You can add your flavorings, whether it's gonna be savory or spicy or tomato too. We didn't even talk about tomato, but then you can hit your tomatoes in there too, or your tomato sauces, things like that as well. There's so many different ways that you can do these stuffed peppers, and let me tell you, it was really fast for the most part. The prep time is just boom, boom, boom in the oven, and people are gonna look at this and say, wow, you really went to some effort, when it was really that simple. So anyway, this is Mark Anthony sharing with you one of those really amazing type of great presentation things that is so easy you didn't even need a recipe. And that's what I like to do, is teach those concepts. So enjoy this one, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next time in the kitchen. right, we're back giving you a crash course about vegan, vegetarian, plant strong. One of the things we need to do is eat a healthier lifestyle. If you want to be a healthier person, eat a healthier lifestyle. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. And, you know, I can talk about all the excuses in the book. There's people with every single excuse you could ever imagine why they don't eat healthier. Oh, it costs so much, which it doesn't. You know, Hans Diehl did some studies with the CHIP program, the Complete Health Improvement Project, talking about how 40% reduction in how much it costs you to eat when you eat a healthier lifestyle. Can you imagine saving 40% on your grocery bill? Well, most people who switch from a meat lifestyle to a plant-strong lifestyle save 40% on their grocery bills. Yeah, and I mean, what a better reason to do it. So there's none of this excuses, you know, that it's so expensive. And especially when you get rid of the junk food that costs top dollar for all this junk food that most people eat. And the meats that are so expensive, and the cheeses and seafood, shrimp, you know, lobster. I mean, there's some you know, you don't find that many fruits and vegetables that cost as much as lobster or shrimp, okay? It's just not out there. I do buy some good food. I do buy some good vegetables, though, fruits. All right, Loma Linda University. Let's share this one with you right here. Loma Linda, I love these websites like this that have some detail to them. This has a lot of information here. This one has their Adventist lifestyles in the media, shows some of their things on Good Morning America, ABC News, CNN. Down here, some of the publications that they've been in, Religion and Ethics, News Weekly. They've been in National Geographic a couple times, CNN, the BBC, the Press Enterprises, Signs of the Times, and Toronto Star, and here's report after report after report after report. The list goes on and on and on. So those are the kind of websites that you can really get some good information from and really study a lot of this on the sides. So you'll get a lot of good information. Libraries, research. So that's a website you might want to visit, Loma Linda University School of Public Health, and one of the most powerful, intelligent health universities in the world. Vegetarianism, let me show you this. American Cancer Society. I thought I'd show you a quick quote from the American Cancer Society. Of course, they've got definitions and descriptions and overviews and things like that. But the overview here, some studies have linked vegetarian diets to a lower risk for heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and certain types of cancer, such as colon cancer. And there you go, right from the American Cancer Society. So this is veganhealth.org. We'll share this one with you real quick here. Now, veganhealth.org, Jack Norris, he's done a lot of homework on these studies here. And these are not his studies, by the way. And look at the content. This is designed just like a science study class, more than a pleasure read like you'd normally get from the internet. You know, a lot of the internet stuff you got out there is like they just want to give you all this fluff. This one's got more study, and these are the studies. If you look at Adventist mortality, Adventist health, Health Food Shoppers, Oxford, Heidelberg, Meditech is an analysis of all the studies above. And then you've got Epic, Oxford, and then Adventist Health Study 2. And now here we go. Death rates per 1,000 people. I want to share with you a couple things down here, though. Here we go. Right here, I've got it. Occasional meat eaters, because they've done this with lots of different studies. Some of these have 31,000 people that have been studied in this. But occasional meat eaters who ate meat less than once per week had a 20% reduction rate of dying of heart disease and a 10% reduced rate of overall mortality. So, meat eaters who ate less meat, just less than once a week, you know, receive that type of reduction. Here's another one for you. Those who ate no meat other than fish had a 34% reduction of dying from heart disease and an 18% reduction of overall mortality. And this is the thing I wanted to show you. There's some real confusing things about numbers here. And, when it comes to heart disease rate, I'll show you this heart disease rate of 7.4%. You're looking at a 26% rate reduction there. So you've really got to understand how these science boys use this numbering system to determine the significant reduction of heart disease or the increase in that type of thing. But here we go. I mean, every one of these you can see heart disease, cataracts even. You have less cataracts when you go vegan. And the list goes on and on. You have less bone fractures. There's British studies here. Here's more studies about, vegan had a lower risk of death by 15%. So anyway, there's a lot of study in here, and we'll get into this in more and more detail later. But you talk about the science behind the claim is what this website has, and it goes over particular diets and particular studies and gets into all the details. Just blows you away. I mean, look at this. It just keeps going on. And here's the references. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, the references are absolutely amazing of the studies that have been done there. So anyway, I wanted to share that website with you as well, veganhealth.org. I think we've got a couple more videos to show you, a couple more clips of some cooking. I'm a chef by trade. I just do my homework in other areas of life, but I got to get you some fun cooking items today. So let's go to these, have some fun, and we'll be back to go over a couple more things here on the internet. Hi, Mark Anthony here to show you the easy way to make applesauce. And I like getting a variety of apples because there's so many different varieties out there. The one thing you don't want to use when you're making applesauce is going to be your Red and Delicious, because those apples are not going to break down as much as the other ones. And look at the color of these apples. We've got some golden apples, some McIntosh. These are some, I think these are the Jonathan apples that give you that little red inside. So all we did was peel them, quarter them, and put them right in this. This is my crock pot. And if you can find a Salad Master crock pot, they're the best because they really maintain a good temperature, and you can digitally temperature the exact temperature you want. And what I'm going to do right here is set the temperature at about 100, and let me do 215 degrees. 215 degrees, and our time, we're going to put it at about an hour and a half. Usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours, so we'll put it at an hour and a half. And that's all you have to do for the time and temperature on this. And this right here actually holds 1 gallon of apples. Took about 8 pounds, 6 to 8 pounds. And then real easy, there's only 3 ingredients you need. And you can put a little brown sugar in here, which isn't even a requirement. You can do unsweetened. And a couple tablespoons of cinnamon. And ooh, and you can get a little carried away. It doesn't have to be exact. And then I'm gonna put in 1 cup of water. And that is it. Now you can use some apple cider, but I'm not using apple cider today. One of the things I'm trying to get away from is all these processed items, and these processed apples, just like these processed apple sauces, you really don't know what's in here. I mean, there can be bugs and up to 225 fragments per 8 ounces, that type of thing. So this, and it's more expensive. Price-wise, this is gonna run about $2, ends up being about 50 cents per portion, where this is less than half the price. In fact, we actually got a whole bushel of apples at 50 cents a pound. So it's a real money saver, and it's a good time to buy them. So this is all you've got to do. We're going to put this on here. About an hour and a half later, we're going to come back here and show you what it looks like. All right, we're back, and let's see how this turned out with just about an hour and a half. at 215 degrees. And take a look at this. Oh my, and look at that. We've got some bigger chunks of apples in there. And so what I'm gonna do is actually take a potato masher, and of course I do everything commercial style, and give this a little bit of mashing here, and try to incorporate some of those flavors and get this mixed up nice and good. Oh, this smells so good. If you had smell-o-vision, you would love the smell of this. That's one thing I'd really like to do too. When you're having guests come over and things like that, if you can get an applesauce going, they're gonna smell that as soon as they walk in the door, and that aromatherapy will set the stage for your entire presentation, with your guests and everything. So just like this, you have got the most delicious homemade applesauce you could possibly imagine. And by the way, you can also do this on the stove. I prefer my Salad Master crock pot because it's surgical steel, doesn't have all those chemicals going into your food and everything, but you could actually do it on the stove, just on a low heat as you can possibly get. And just like that, let me taste panel. That is the best applesauce you will ever taste. Wow. And if you're doing a big presentation, you can always put a couple little cinnamon sticks in there. And just like that, it's that easy to make homemade applesauce. So use your time saving some money and get yourself some applesauce that is so much better. So this is Mark Anthony with The Whole Message. Bye-bye. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to share with you a couple more websites here that will not be of interest to you. Actually, I got one at least that will not be of interest to you. This right here, the Authority Nutrition. Now, anytime you see Authority Nutrition, a lot of times you'll see this truth. You'll see the word truth in it or something like that. You got to kind of question it. I like to let the evidence speak for itself, but I do like to show you the whole message. So I want to share with you both sides of the equation here, even though I'm going to criticize it when I do. Top 5 reasons why vegan diets are a terrible idea. And let me tell you, this thing goes on about there's no right way to eat for everyone, which you got to agree with that to a certain extent because every single body is a little bit different. My body's different than your body. And my body might be allergic to wheat. Your body might need to have more potassium in it. And that's why you do blood tests. Let me tell you, I do blood tests at least once a year. And I've got a great doctor who really goes through the results of those blood tests and kind of sees where I'm at. So that's a big, big plus to be able to do that. But really, I'll get into the 5 reasons here. Here we are. Well, let me share this with you real quick, though. You're going to love this. See this right here? 5 foods to never eat. Cut down a bit of killer fat every day. Never eat these 5 foods. And here's a banana. You may have seen this on the internet. I've seen it dozens of times. So anybody that cruises through Facebook or any of the social networks, things like that, on websites, this is on a website. These are all over the place. And what this is it's called baiting. They're baiting you to go to that website. And bananas is not one of the 5 foods that you should never, ever eat, okay? But they're baiting you with that for your curiosity to click on that and go over to that site. And when you click on that to go over to that site, this site makes money. And I really do question and hesitate things like this website who has advertisements surrounding it like this. They're in this business to make money, so they're going to do as much as they can to get you onto this site for curiosity's sakes and then get you off of this site to another site. This is about money. Now, when you click on this site, you're going to go over to another site that will have a bunch of sites to click on, and they'll make even more money if you click from there. Also, a lot of them will lock you in to a site that will pop up a video, and you're forced to watch this 10, 15-minute video, and sometimes you can't even get yourself out of that without shutting the computer down. So who knows what's in those videos. I mean, I really caution people from going on these clicks that are bait. This is what it's called baiting. And so just don't click on them. But here's the problem, okay, is people see this, 5 foods to never eat, and they see this banana. Let me tell you, I don't know how many times I've been touring, I do a lot of touring, that people have come up to me and said, well, I heard it was bad to eat bananas. I heard bananas were bad for you. It's because they see this over and over and over and over. And this is that fragmentation that I talk about all the time. See, we are in this fragmentized society where people just get fragments and fragments and fragments. They don't look at the whole message. They don't look at the whole picture. All they're doing is getting fragments of information. And all these fragments of information is how we come to our conclusions. We don't come to our conclusions by studying out the whole message or the whole picture, by looking at everything. I like the shotgun effect, okay? And that's where you look at the entire spread of every single little element that needs to be looked at, okay? That's the shotgun effect. There's the bullet effect, you know, where you're just looking at one particular thing with one particular shot. And you know, you got to look at the whole picture. Now, this fragmentation, here's what happens. You get clip, 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 and as long as you see it enough times or hear it enough times, you're going to start believing it. Even if it's a lie. It can be a full-blown lie, but you're going to start believing it because your mind has just seen it so many times. Well, it must be true. I've just heard it so many times. You know, and this is why, you know, a lot of companies that want to get their products to sell better will market it in a way to make you believe it's a better product. You know, they can put these lies out there in a massive way, and then you're actually believing that something is healthy even though it isn't. And so this is something you really got to be careful for, is this fragmentation. Anyway, let's go back to this website. Vegans are deficient in many important nutrients. Now that is just plain not true, you know, because they're not. You can do the homework. You're going to be deficient in vitamin C? I don't think so. You know, eat some more oranges. B12, like I talked about, you know, that you do need B12, and some people do end up becoming deficient on B12. So, you know, it's something you want to look at. A lot of people, look at this years ago. Years ago, people were never low on B12 like they are today. Because years ago, we never washed our food. You know, not like we do today. Today, we're peeling those potatoes and we're peeling those carrots and we're washing the food and peeling everything. You know, B12 is that bacteria that grows on rooted plants and in the dirt. You know, that's where, you know, and I know you got to wash your food, you know, but we're losing B12 by doing that. Kids that play in the dirt get more B12 than adults that do not play in the dirt. B12 is absorbed through your skin, through the dirt you play in. Farmers, vegan farmers who have been in the farms for 50 years have no problems not getting enough B12 because their hands are in the dirt. The minute they quit playing in the dirt in that farm, they end up with B12 deficiencies. So this is one of the things so this guy just, you know, there's just not enough education for him to be making these statements in the first place. Animal protein, which is bad for you, creatine, which is bad for you, the DHA, you can get that. My doctor's actually got me on, I think it's a DEHA. I think I might have been a little low on that, which is not a real significant thing, but your omega-3s and things like that, you know, you do need your plant fatties. There's no studies showing that they're better than other diets. This is number 2. There are no studies showing that there are better than other diets. Yet I can show you study after study after study here. I mean, how many studies do you want for me to show you? Even from the American Cancer Society, university after university. I mean, that is just a ridiculous statement that, you know, and then look at the China study and look at, you know, things like that. There are plenty of studies out there. I mean, countless studies nowadays. So number 3, proponents of vegan diets use lies and fear mongering to promote their cause. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why vegetarian diets are a terrible idea. Top 5 reasons why vegetarian diets are a terrible idea is because somebody's using lies and fear-mongering to promote their cause. This has nothing to do with one of the reasons why not to go vegan. If anything, it has to do with why you should look more into what you're doing before you do it. But, that's definitely not one of the reasons. So it doesn't even seem like there's enough intelligence here to know how to reason. The Bible says, come, let us reason together. Let's reason together. Let's look at all the facts. And I know there's people that do that, but that's not one of the reasons why not to go vegan. It's just that way. Vegan diets may work for short term. Vegan diets may work in the short term for other reasons. Man. Telling you, I'm just showing this to you to show you what is out there. I mean, here's number 5. There is no health reason to completely avoid animal products. Does any of this make any rational sense to you as to the original point that was the 5 top reasons why vegan diets are a terrible idea? It just doesn't even make intelligent sense. I don't know what to tell you about that, but this is what I wanted to share with you, is that there's a lot of this type of information going on out there, and unless people actually look at the information and have enough sound mind to be able to decipher intellectually what is good and bad, and you're going to fall into this idiotic mentality that doesn't have anything to do with science, doesn't have anything to do with your health, and it's very non-productive. But it's good to know. And I'll tell you what, one of the best things you can do is pray for discernment. In fact, next week's class is our first episode on going a vegan lifestyle, baby steps to an amazingly healthier you. Not necessarily vegan, but baby steps to an amazingly healthier you. And that is going to be a fabulous one. And it's actually talking about prayer. So we're going to be talking about that next week. But pray for discernment. That's where you get godly wisdom and godly knowledge. It's like using God's eyes instead of your own, and God's heart and God's mind instead of your own. The bottom line here is that we are so bombarded by these types of deceptions that are out there that we need this valuable discernment from God so that we can filter through all of this. I pray for discernment all the time. And I'm telling you, there's nothing more valuable than having God on your side. And this is why I do this, as I know when you start eating healthier, you start living healthier, you start exercising healthier, you start praying more, you're going to have that better connection with God. And that's what brings the entire thing together so you can live this full, vibrant life that God has given you. It's just an amazing, amazing thing when you receive God's discernment. And so definitely pray for discernment. We've got a couple more videos, and then we're going to wrap it all up and for this show. 1 hour goes by so quick. Okay, and I think that was it here. Let me double check here. Here, one more thing I got to share with you here. This is from nutritionalfacts.org. I don't think I can play the video. I do have their permission to air whatever they have. So I'm kind of joining forces with them, and so I've got to do some homework to see how we can air those. But you can take a look at that website too, Nutritional Facts. Let me zoom that up. Nutritionalfacts.org, and that's an all vegan. Some of the doctors were from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, and so most of their stuff is very, very good. And so, okay, we'll go to these next cooking clips.
my name is Abby and I'm from Florida. I am here to help Chef with peppermint chocolate.
Oh, you're here to help me. I thought I was here to help you. This is your recipe. How do I make it? What do you want me to do?
Well, first you got the big chocolate bars.
Oh yeah, well, this is the way I buy my chocolate. And you probably bought it in those little squares and stuff. But we found this, it was actually twice the size. And for $8, that much chocolate at a Mennonite place over in Ohio. Yeah. And so what I did was I actually broke off one of the pieces, and that's what you're melting there.
We got our candy canes, and this chocolate is ready to be poured on the
So this is like a good thing to do after the holidays or before the holidays.
even during the holidays.
Yeah. Got leftover, you can use it. I better grab a towel then if this is gonna be hot. This looks really hot, huh? So you're supposed to say, kids, don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Maybe with help, huh? Because this is really hot. Let's shut this off first here. Okay, and woo! So this has been melting. How long did it take to melt?
About 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah, and it's just a double boiler. So looks just like that. Okay. And then what do you want me to do with this?
You're gonna spread it on that pan.
Okay.
And I'm gonna smash the candy canes.
Okay. Smashing. And do you want me to just spread this out, I guess, all the way to the ends or something, or?
All the way to the ends.
Okay. Ah.
You don't want all the big pieces crushed, just most of them, because the dust sinks in.
Okay.
You want some big pieces to make it more flavorful.
Okay. And how am I doing here? Is this about right?
Good?
You just want to get all the way to the end, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And you want about the same thickness, I'm sure. I guess it really doesn't matter, does it?
Nope, not really. And then when you got this all chopped up and that all spread out, you're just gonna sprinkle this all over.
I'm busy playing right now. Yeah, wom, 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 wom. Whoops! All right, now, I know my kitchen's an entertainment center. Okay, so we go like that?
Mm-hmm. And then, you wanna sprinkle?
You want me to sprinkle? Okay. Like little pixie dust or something, huh? So just like this?
Just get it all around.
Okay. Well, this is easy enough. What else can you do with this?
You can put coconut in there, and you can put the almonds underneath, and then have chocolate on top so that the almonds won't be on top.
Oh, it's like an almond coconut, or so you can put pretty much anything in this. Is that too much, or is that? You want me to use all of it?
All of it.
Really? Okay.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay. Ah, is that the way to do it?
Mm-hmm. Don't forget over here and over there.
See, that's when I know it's a good chef, because she's particular to detail. That's right. Okay.
And then you put it in the fridge or freezer. I put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes, and then for about.
And then it's good to go. Yeah. Or you could probably
Put it-
leave it out on the open, but it might take overnight or something to harden. So that's the fast way, is put it in the fridge. And
Or
then it
in the
comes
freezer.
out. Okay. And then when it comes out,
It looks like
there's
this.
our finished product. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is what, and it's got a peppermint chocolate flavor, huh? All right. You know, chocolate's one of the 4 nutritional food groups nowadays.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you might not want to eat too much of it, though. All right. Well, I think that's a fabulous recipe. And I like the idea about putting some nuts and peppermint and lots of different things in there. Not to really be creative, but for the
Maybe
holidays.
next time.
For the holidays, this is perfect.
Maybe next time we can put the chocolate over a little bit of coconut.
Yeah.
And then put the peppermint on top.
I like it. There you go. That easy to make fun, simple recipes at home. We'll see you next time. Hey, just wanted to share with you my newest cookbook. This is the kind of book that will really be a blessing to your library at home. And I took a lot of care making this cookbook. In fact, I do autograph them. I always try to do that. One thing I did with the quality of this book was make it a hardcover. It's over 400 pages, over 250 recipes, plus I put a stitched binding on it so it will stay open on the kitchen table. This is one thing you want to look for, is those good stitched bindings that will stay open and they're not going to mess up over time. And this book is filled with so many great recipes and concepts, because it'll actually give you the concept how to make hummus. And then here's recipe, 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 recipe. The concept how to make bruschetta. And then recipe, 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 recipe. So it's one of those things that just makes it so much easier to learn how to function in the kitchen. And that's really what I want to do, is I want to teach people the basics. I want to teach people how to do things easier in the kitchen, to make your life easier. And more importantly than that, I want to get you healthy. And in this book, there's actually some areas in the front here, let me share this with you, that have 12 different concepts on things that you need to do to get healthy. And one of them is go vegan, of course. Here's one about reducing oil and a whole bunch of information about that. And biggest meal for breakfast, I talk about that. Plenty of water, which is what I'm doing right now, trying to get plenty of water. Rest, so there's some really good concepts in the front. Plus, I also share some of my station simplicity, how to design your oatmeal station, how to design your refrigerator into a salad bar. So this is a real powerful education tool to teach you how to function in the kitchen so much better. And these run $50, and shipping's included. We're not even charging for shipping or anything. And it is such a fantastic book. It's available on my website, or you can just call the number on the screen. And we should usually ship out within a day or two. So it's just one of those books that helps support our ministry. And of course, you can always call the number on the screen, even if you just want to contribute to our ministry. Because let me tell you, this is one of those ministries, we don't have a bunch of sponsors. You're not watching 35 commercials in order to get one recipe. And we sustain ourselves basically on your contributions and a couple of the books that I have available. I have another one too here, Vegan Simplicity. We've got a part 2 to this one coming out real soon. And this one too has not as many pictures, but it's packed with recipes. This one's just packed with recipes, and that one's half the price. So just wanted to share those with you. Both fantastic books. My website, chefmarkanthony.com, or call the number on the screen, and we will get those right out to you. So enjoy the rest of the program, and we'll see you later on. All right, what a great episodes. I'm telling you, take these segments. The reason we do segments is because we want you to bust up these programs and be able to send out segments. You know, we're in a society right now where people would rather watch a 5-minute segment or a 10-minute segment rather than a whole hour program. So I like to have segments because, you know, why am I going to waste an hour of your time to show you how to make something in 5 minutes? And a lot of these cooking programs, they will stretch this out. You got to watch the beginning of the program all the way to the end to find out how to make mashed potatoes. And I would much rather just show you it in 5 minutes. And so that's kind of why we do these segments, and it makes it more fun, makes it a real crazy program. So anyway, check out the website, chefmarkanthony.com, the YouTube channel. I get a lot of response off that YouTube channel, and which is on my website as well. And of course, we got books available and things like that. And share these with your friends. That's what it's all about. And we will see you next time in the kitchen for the whole message.